talk? Oh, please.
Yes, because I thought it was important.
A little bit.
Yeah, right. I thought it was important to change the conception of that phrase.
Okay.
Because as soon as men hear that,
yes,
they automatically think something's wrong.
The worst, actually.
Right.
In the relationship.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that. Of course, you know, communicating and communication is very, very vital in any relationship. I mean, your relationship with your boss, your relationship with God, your relationship with your children, your relationship with your dog.
Right.
It's important. So, of course, you had to have a chapter that dealt with communication. And I think I talk about in that chapter how it doesn't always have to be a bad thing. And then, you know, towards the end of the chapter, I flip it so much where you've been so nice. There are nice ways to approach communicating. You could be out to dinner and, you know, do something really nice, have a candlelight dinner for your husband, and just talk then. You don't have to have an attitude and rolling your neck. We need to talk. You know what I mean?
So you're saying it shouldn't always be in a negative situation,
right?
Or when we're in the midst of an argument.
No, it should not. And if you manipulate it to a point where,
and women does do that, don't they?
Well, they manipulate it in a good way. And if you talk to your husband in a way that he can relate to, you'll find him saying, "Honey, can we talk?"
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you put on a nice outfit, you know, a nice, I know this is a Bible-based church, so, you know, a grown-up outfit at night and you want to talk, you can do it that way. It doesn't always have to. I want to remove the stereotype of those words, can we talk? That's why I said please. And by the end of that chapter, the husband is coming to the wife saying, "Honey, can we talk?"
Because usually what would take place, we'll open up. But once you cut us,
right?
You know, once we open up, you know, can we talk? And the communication start taking place, and immediately you don't pull out your knife.
Right.
And actually, what you did, you put us in the situation. We're gonna dig a hole, and we're gonna stay right there and put up a wall, and we not budging.
Right.
Because the last time I opened up and exposed my feelings or my emotion, the young lady took advantage of it.
Right.
And what we do, we just lock up.
Right. Well, that's what the book talks about, preventing that wall that men build up and trying to get to the core of his heart.
Yes.
But killing him with kindness.
Right.
You don't wait until 5 times a week he's left the wet towel on the bed before you address it, because you're going to explode, and one thing will set you off, and you're like, and you leave the towel on the floor, and then it's a big deal.
Walk in, throw your shoes on the floor.
I mean, you don't have to wait till it gets to a point where you're built up to here and you can't take it anymore. You know, you can still address those things at dinner quietly, like, "Baby, I love you so much, but can you just pick up the wet towel?" Because what it does is that it creates mold. And you know, the thread count sheets that you spent $300, oh, you didn't know I spent $300, but those thread count sheets that I spent $300 on, it's gonna ruin them. So if you could, you know,
and not patronizing them, not pacifying.
No, just really, if you can pick that up, you know, you think you could do that? And if, you know, he can or whatever and it doesn't register, just do it yourself.
Right.
Just pick up the towel and put it on the hook, and you'll be like, wow, that was so easy. And for the last 10 years, I've been complaining about that.
Right.
So now, it's a give and take.
I know that you're not claim that you're an expert or anything like that. But yeah, we are dealing with her experience in her marriage.
Right.
So if y'all want to know if she's an expert or professing to be an expert in marriage or relationship, you're not.
Well, I'm an expert as relative to what I've experienced.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So I didn't go to school to be a relationship expert. I have a master's in business. But I'm deeming myself an expert now because of the relationships and the experience that I've encountered.
So let me ask you this then. So in a marriage, is it 50-50 or is it 60-40 or is it 100-100? Because I believe that it should be 100-100. I got to give 100 where you're not giving anything. And when you're not giving it, or when I'm not giving anything, you still need to carry that 100, carry the relationship.
Right.
It's not just 50-50, is it?
I don't believe so. I believe exactly what you said. Everybody should give 100%. Because if you're giving 50, then there's 50 lacking.
Right, yes.
So if everybody gives 100%, then you're all winning together.
So your communication will help that.
Yeah, definitely. Communication helps everything. And like I said, you don't wait until it gets to a point where you're going to explode.
Now, one part in your book, positive reinforcements, dealing with nagging.
Yes.
Let's talk, because I think in 1 Peter 3:7, the Bible tells the man, deal with her according to her knowledge.
Right.
Then it go on to say, as a weaker vessel.
Right.
Not a weak vessel, but as a weaker vessel.
Right.
So I know that the Bible deals with us as a man. We should deal with you according to her knowledge.
Right.
But in that, help me out with the nagging. What do you mean about positive reinforcement and nagging?
Well, I have a, it's called my acronym definition section. And what I had to try to convey to women is that if your man has worked all day, hard work, whatever, he could be a doctor, he could work on the boat, he can be, the postman. When he steps foot through the door, I'm sure the last thing he wants to hear is, well, why you took so long, and did you